We like to think of the Bible possessively. My Bible, a rare heritage, a holy treasure, a spiritual heirloom. And well, we should. The Bible is fresh and speaks to each of us as God's revelation of Himself in a confusing world. It is ours and at times feels quite personal. But we cannot afford to let this idea run away with us. The Old Testament does communicate to us, and it was written for us and for all humankind. But it was not written to us. It was written to Israel. It is God's revelation of Himself to Israel and secondarily through Israel to everyone else. As obvious as this is, we must be aware of the implications of that simple statement. Since it was written to Israel, it is in a language that most of us do not understand, and therefore it requires translation. But the language is not the only aspect that needs to be translated. Language assumes a culture, operates in a culture, serves a culture, and is designed to communicate into the framework of a culture. Consequently, when we read a text written in another language and addressed to another culture, we must translate the culture as well as the language if we hope to understand the text fully. As complicated as translating a foreign language can be, translating a foreign culture is infinitely more difficult. The problem lies in the act of translating. Translation involves lifting the ideas from their native context and relocating them in our own context. In some ways, this is an imperialistic act and bound to create some distortion as we seek to organize information in the categories that are familiar to us. It is far too easy to let our own ideas creep in and subtly, or at times not so subtly, bend or twist the material to fit our own context. On the level of words, for example, there are Hebrew words that simply do not have matching words in English. The Hebrew word chesed is a good example. The translators of the New American Standard Bible decided to adopt the combination word loving kindness to render it. Other translations use a variety of words, loyalty, love, kindness, and so on. The meaning of the word cannot easily be expressed in English, so using any word unavoidably distorts the text. English readers unaware of this could easily begin working from the English word and derive an interpretation of the text based on what that English word means to them, and thus risk bringing something to the text that was not there.